And welcome back to Let's Play E7. Last time, we made it to the midway point of the Well of Souls. This time, I've done a little bit of off-screen preparation, got my team up to level 53, since I feel that's ideal for letting me get through the rest of the dungeon without any serious headaches, and I gathered some materials off-screen to finish up some synthesizing. We can now synthesize the remainder of the elixir compound, so synthesize the dexterity compound, you need the Cheagle seeds, the Natalie seeds found in Kylos Gorge, and then of course we need 10 holy waters and 10 spiritual waters, and we can synthesize the agility compound. This requires the Mbuna seeds and the Striga seeds gotten from the plant gathering points that are found within the Sanctum dungeon, so you can only get these towards the end of the game, and again, some holy water. And just one more thing, we can now synthesize alp extracts with titano fluid and alp flowers, but we need holy water to do so, and also the Maum fruits can synthesize Varl incenses. May as well synthesize one. And that's all that there really is to do here. I did get some soul stones, so let's see, anything good that I can synthesize? I already got the Innocent Shield. We cannot get the Seiya armor because we need some Titanospines. Let's get... You know what, let's buff up Aisha's defense a little bit, get this taken care of ahead of time. I didn't get too many soul stones just because it's kind of tedious to try and get them at this point. And so Kurushi doesn't feel out. We'll give her the first of many armored Genmas that we're going to be synthesizing, and that'll do us. And upon synthesizing the final of the compounds... Nice! Not that that actually affects anything in-game, mind you, but for completing this, we get the Energy Charm, a unique accessory. Nice! Too bad this mechanic doesn't really come back in quite the same way in the succeeding games, although there is a crafting system, so to speak. Well, not so to speak. There is. It's just, they've revamped what you do with materials in succeeding games. And the energy charm that we just got, if I can find it. Where are you? Right here. This fills the extra gauge more quickly for the party member that has it equipped. I'm not 100% sure how this works, if it's based on, using skills, or if it's just an overtime effect. The Ares seal that we can get from Zanzibar Firm, that's definitely just the passive regen of the extra gauge that it speeds up. I haven't really played around with the energy charm too much just because you get it so late. Before I forget, I want to equip our battle items. We're going to equip the energy orb onto Kurushi. I'm actually going to equip a Power Wrist 3 onto Aisha, since I'm not going to be playing as her for the upcoming mini-boss fight we're going to get into. And just to cap this off, our quest list is completely filled out. We've gotten every quest, completed every single one of them. They are nice and yellow now, and we've gotten all the rewards for doing so. Good stuff, good stuff. With that taken care of, let's get back into the Well of Souls. Like I said, at the midway point, just step forward a little bit, and we will find ourselves halted by a cutscene. We get trapped, and we've got a couple of these guys to fight. They are not even dignified with names. We just gotta... Oh, no wait, no wait. Okay, yes, they are dignified with names. These are Dragleths. And this is a pretty straightforward mini-boss fight. There's two of them, which is the way it differentiates itself. They like to swipe at you like that. Yep, I was trying to do flash guard there. Let me see if I can't get this correctly. Get our extra skill. There we go. Do this so that we can get more mileage out of our pentagrams when I throw those out. Speaking of which, throw one of those out immediately, get some really good damage in there. Guy's already close to half dead. And we're going to take the very simplistic approach to this. Just kite out, do charge attacks until pentagram is ready, and it's already ready, so... Whoop. Almost missed actually hitting it there. I wasn't paying attention. These guys can be stunned, so Dogi can do a little extra work for you here if you decide to bring him along. But I did not feel it was necessary. Yeah, this guy's stunned. Let's just hit him with another pentagram. And yeah, keep doing that. As you can see, pentagram, if you can hit multiple enemies with it, does some really good work for the extra gauge. Already more than halfway filled up on that. Whoops, was not paying too close attention there. And yeah, this is very straightforward mini-boss fight. Very nice after the extremely complex dragon fights we've been getting into. Not really bothering to flash guard at this point because it's kind of overkill for needless risk. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're gonna get another extra skill in, but that's fine. Oh wait, maybe if I can get one more pentagram. Maybe hit him with a photon blade. And do this. There we go. Just to style. We're not gonna need another extra skill for a long while, so take this guy out in style. There we go. I think that actually just barely took him out. I think Cruci gave him a love tap to finish him off. But yeah, very straightforward and easy mini-boss fight. I just got myself up to level 53 for my party just to make sure. I couldn't recall fully how difficult it was or wasn't. Whoa, excuse me. We got a small belch coming up there. There we get some more moonstones, got some new enemies here. This guy's very annoying, as you can see. He likes to charge you like so. But, like so many other things, Pentagram just takes him out in no time at all. Speaking of which, let's get the Training Ring 3 back on Nadal. At this point, I don't really care too much about Cruci or Aisha passively getting skill EXP. I probably will take the effort to max out Aqua Burst before the end of this dungeon, but I'm going to have to do a lot of off-screen work anyway. And that'll just be best taken care of then. Besides, in Cruci's case, I want her to keep the energy orb on just so we can get as much passive SP generation going as possible, so I can take out these enemies with minimal headaches. Pentagram, very strong at this point. Hey, 20 soul stones, very nice. Knocks a decent chunk off of the farming I have to do. We have to get hundreds of those to synthesize everything. I want to say, like, at least 500. It's definitely, like, between all the, oh geez. Between all the items that we have to synthesize, it's going to be at least 350 for those. And then, you know, there's all the armor that I gotta synthesize. I want to make as many armored Genmas as possible to max out our money so that we can buy the Zanzibar firm items. Should I use a healing item here? Actually, I'm pretty close to level up. I can probably just take this guy out the boring way. And do this. That should get us leveled. There we go. Very nice. Like I said, for safety's sake, I probably want to get up to about... which way do I want to go here? I think I want to go this way first. I want to get up to about level 62 for the final boss. Yeah, you do a ton of leveling in this final dungeon. It is quite lengthy, and the enemies give out tons of experience here. Open this up and get Titanobone times 20. That's going to contribute greatly for our synthesis efforts. Alright, okay, yeah. We do want to come this way eventually, but not right now. We want to get our diamond boots out. Another artifact that gets pulled out of storage just to get past these spikes. Got quite a few of these. Actually do want to stop at these gathering points so that I can get as many crystallized twigs as possible. Again, we need a lot of those for synthesis. That is the name of the game for getting prepared for final bosses. You want to be able to synthesize as many things as possible. Heading over this way. Had to go quite a bit of a distance. Want to stop at this wood gathering point real quick. And the reason we came up here is because we can hit this rock. And that'll drop it down and fill in that chasm, which will allow us to get across there. That's where the path we took first led to. If we didn't do that, we wouldn't be able to get across. Skrigax tech. We are not going to be coming back this way, so may as well use this up and take this. That would have been something I could have healed myself at, but unfortunately, level up kind of undercut the glory of that Striga extract. It just had to heal off a paper cut. Heading back this way, it actually remembers the spikes that I stepped through. Not sure how universal that is for spikes to come across. Let's get our alias urn back on, just in case I do any fighting along the way. Actually, you know what the heck? We're generating pentagrams passively at this point. May as well use one when I have the opportunity. Get all that experience going. Let's see here. Okay, here is where we drop the rock down. Have to be a little bit careful because this wind is trying to blow us off the path. Let's just take this guy out, easy peasy. And heading this way, want to avoid this guy. And coming across here. Actually, I don't think the wind's affecting us too much. Okay, see that purplish effect over there? That is miasma. Walk through it and you are going to take a ton of damage, so best to avoid that. If we try to head the other way, we are just going to hit an impenetrable cloud of miasma. That will kill us if we try to go through it. Not that I really need to explain that to you, I suppose. Now, this area we've just entered is very important, actually. We want to take this guy out first and foremost. Hey, I'm knocking him to the ground. Okay, just use Earth Shakers there. These ore deposits in here, they can give you soul stones, and with the lucky medals on all of our characters, the chance that you'll get soul stones from them are extremely high, almost guaranteed, honestly. And there are 3 ore deposits in this area, plus those enemies that also drop the wood materials. They have soul stones in there. If you bring Elk along and have him bandit them, you have a high chance of getting soul stones off of these guys right here. So this is a very, very good spot to gather soul stones, and it'll be even better for reasons that'll come up in just a moment. Get these guys out of the way just so I can get the treasure chest with no issues. Get some Titanospines here. Again, we need tons of those, so I welcome every single one we find. Here is the final ore deposit for this area, and we will just take this guy down with Earth Shakers. There we go, no problem. Get some more soul stones off of this one. Moonstones aren't used for too much, honestly. Like, they're used for the energy orb, but other than that, I can't really think of anything I overwhelmingly want. I think they're used for a couple of the ultimate weapon synthesis for Dogi and Geist, since they don't have an associated Dragonstone. Here, we use the Moonsong Bell for one more time. I forget if there's any time after this that we use it. But this opens up a treasure for us. Opening this, we will get the Moon Talisman. This talisman will protect us against the miasma that we've been coming across. Heading over here, we use the Moonsong Bell one more time. Here's the other time I was thinking of. This opens up a shortcut. This leads back to the Midway Point Monument, so now we can very quickly get back there, and you may notice that the area where we can gather some soul stones is in with very short distance of a monument, and is also along a path that contains a lot of enemies that have soul stones in their drop table. So you're probably getting where this is going, right? And yes, there is going to be another monument at the very end of this dungeon, and that is going to be the last piece of the puzzle for getting soul stones very quickly. But we'll go over that when we get there. Since this ore deposit has respawned, we just want to take some of these soul stones real quick. Unfortunately, the AI is getting confused. This is something that I haven't talked about too much throughout the entire game, because I haven't been gathering too much during the videos, but the AI gets very, very confused about what it wants to do when enemies are nearby. Because the gather button is the same as the attack button, if there are enemies nearby, the AI will think you want to attack the enemies and will start rushing towards them, ignoring the gathering completely, which is part of the reason why in Memories of Celcida, they made it so that you gather from points just by hitting them outright, and generally the AI will realize when you want to hit gathering points. So now that we have the Moon Talisman, we can get along this section of miasma here. Whoop, 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 whoop. That guy almost knocked me off. This is another situation where it's a good idea to use the Speed Orb. By using the Speed Orb, we can outpace the effect of the miasma. Now, there is another way to bypass the effect of the winds pushing you back. I said miasma, I meant the winds. I think this actually leads to it. Here we get the Heavy Belt, hands down the worst accessory in the game. What does this accessory do? It inflicts the Heavy status on you, meaning that you can't dodge and you run really slow. However, Heavy has a unique property where it protects you from the effects of strong winds. So this is the other way you have to get around the strong winds. You might think that dodging to avoid them is more effective, but there is a particular reason why you would want to be heavy in order to avoid the effects of the high winds, which we'll be getting into right now, actually. However, I find the Speed Orb to be better for this on the whole, just because, well, you run fast enough to overcome the winds, and you run faster in general, so I can't really imagine why you'd want to use the Heavy Belt unless you didn't grab the Speed Orb, which it's very easy to forget to do so, since it becomes available at a pretty critical moment in the story, and you probably want to rush back to Altago, but I thought to actually grab it this playthrough. Now we're going to head down this path right here. There are going to be several holes along the path that will knock us into this area. Also another enemy for us to take out. Once again, he will fall to Pentagram. Get some bones from this guy. And another enemy here, this guy is strike weak, so we will just get Cruci in, hit him with a couple Ignis Blazes, get him in the bestiary. That will take care of that for us. Let's take this guy down. I'll just do a couple charge attacks plus some pentagrams. Well, a pentagram. He is not going to survive another one, and I can't use those move in rapid succession. Yeah, it might seem like a good idea to get the Crimson Jewel onto Adol to use 2 pentagrams at once, but honestly, I kind of prefer the Battle Bandana, just because at the rate that you generate SP with it, you generally get pentagrams at the same rate that you'd get from just spamming them with the Crystal Jewel. I kind of like that strategy better. Plus, it frees up the Crystal Jewel to be used on someone who can't generate SP as fast, such as Cruci, which could be important. Here we get a clone statue. Let me just look at this. I actually forget what this does. The clone statue, if you die, it revives you in battle. Kind of like the proxy puppet item from the Legend of Heroes series, or I think more accurately, it's like the emergency puppet. Whoa, 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 I almost forgot to put the Moon Talisman back on. And yeah, so you gotta be careful to not get blown into the water pits here. Also, of course, very cruelly, there are spikes along the way. Let me see. It does not look like there's anything over here, so this section was just to troll me. Fortunately, we can also use the wind to just blow us along the path if we don't feel like dealing with maneuvering around these tight spaces. Want to go around this way to avoid these. And yeah, you notice that if you do not have the Moon Talisman, the Miasma kills you in very, very short order, so be mindful that you have it equipped at all times when going through here. And with just a little bit of finesse, we get through that area with no problems. Over here, we've got another new enemy. This guy is pretty important because he drops Titanospines, and we need tons of those. You know what? Let's just take him out with Lunar Dragon Blade. Why waste time, right? There we go. Get a much-needed level up there. Get some more fossilized and crystallized twigs here. And we are actually approaching the end of the dungeon at this point. Let's just take this guy out in safety. And aerial thrust, take him out there. Cloudy water at this water gathering point, not that great. There is another gather point at this stage of the area that does give us holy water, so we don't have to go to that one specific deposit to get it. And we'll just leave these guys to their business. I do want to gather off at this point to shoot for some soul stones. Yeah, as you can see, this guy, single most durable and powerful enemy in the game, can survive more than 1 pentagram from Adol, which is not a trait that many enemies outside of bosses share in this game, so good on him, good on him. Not that it really helps him enough. His attacks are a little erratic, so I don't like shooting for flash guards on him, but hey, if you want to practice that, by all means. Let's see, this one's fragrant water, we don't need that. Heading over this way, we just want to check over here because there is a treasure, a Varl incense. Let's just free up the space in our inventory. I didn't need to synthesize one, but hey, it happens. Waste of synthesis materials, but not like I'm going to use them otherwise, right? Here we will grab a Maum extract, very nice. And I think that's the last thing in here, so we will head on our merry way. Of course. Just for safety's sake, let's get the diamond boots on to go over these spikes. Got another new enemy here. These guys are very straightforward, they're slash weak, and they are the last enemy required for the bestiary. Bestiary does not require bosses to be logged, so not that you could see it on the recording software here, but I saw it through my Steam overlay. I have gotten the achievement for getting all the entries in the bestiary, so let's just take a look at that real quick. Additionally, that was the last achievement I needed to get, so I have fully completed E7 for PC. Very nice. But yes, as you can see, we've got all normal enemies. All that's left are the bosses that are not counted, but, you know, for personal satisfaction. Not that it really matters. I think the reason it doesn't count boss enemies is because once the final boss, obviously, once it's defeated, the game ends, and there is no post-game in E7, so you wouldn't even have a chance to look at your bestiary to see the completely filled-out entries. So I guess that's why they don't count the boss enemies. Unfortunately, they don't extend that mercy to enemies that are fought within boss fights. You do have to kill those, and there's a couple instances where it is easy to miss that. But this is actually the final room of the dungeon. Let me see. I think we have to, yeah, we have to juke around to get to that water gathering point. Let's just take this guy out. Pentagram serves my purposes. I've been saying pentagram a lot, I just like saying it. We've worked hard to get this skill. You know, I should get the training ring on it all here. As you can see, pentagram, just one more level to go, and it is maxed out. And it will be getting maxed out. I'm going to be using it more than a couple times off screen. Alright, let's gather water here. I believe this is the one with the holy water, and yes, it is. Okay, that's, let's just see. Yes, got a couple holy waters there. Not that I'm going to synthesize any more compounds, but it is handy for later. Speaking of that, let me use that agility incense on Adol, and we'll actually use the dexterity incense on Aisha, since her dexterity is so terrible. It's pretty ironic to me that the archer of the game has the worst dexterity. Usually it's the opposite in these video games, but apparently Aisha is not exactly a crack shot with the bow. I'm just fighting these guys for the heck of it, really. Also, just so my party members don't get distracted when I'm trying to gather and or get chests. We'll take this guy down. One thing to note about those time-dimming skills is that if you get hit during them, you do seem to take reduced damage, which is pretty important for Mustafa and Krushi, who are horribly vulnerable when using their skills. Alright, we got the soul stones off of that. Let's head over to that other chest and pop it open. See what we get off of this one. Get another Striga extract, which we will just use up the one in our inventory. Take that. There we go. Good like gravy. And we are at the end. That entryway is actually to the final room. Let's just do one last bit of gathering. Aisha and Krushi are going to harass the dog in order to make this harder for me. But that's okay. We can take this guy out, no problem. Yeah, screwed up the timing on the flash guard. Knew I would do that. He has quite a bit of delay on that tailspin attack. Alright, but get this last gathering point here. Let me just check to make sure there aren't any treasure chests we need to get. There is one, okay. Alp extract. Okay, this is the sole Alp extract you find in the game. Otherwise, you have to synthesize them. Alright, let's get out of here. And heading through this entryway, we make it to the final reprieve of the game. This is the final monument that you can activate in the game. Beyond this point are the final bosses of the game, so make absolutely sure you're prepared before going out here. Incidentally, this is the loop I use for my grinding. So you notice that back through that path we had a couple of what was it? Soulstone gathering points, plus those dog enemies that drop Titanospines, making them a good source of that. Now, we can warp back to the midway points. And, heading out this way, we'll have enemies that we can filch soulstones from along the way. And now we can take this staircase and go back to the ramp room that had 3 ore deposits. You can get soul stones from here, warp back to the endpoint, go back through that area, get soul stones from there, and you've got a nice little loop of getting soul stones. And if you stop to kill the Cerberus enemies, you get a lot of Titanospines along the way. That said, let me get a map out here. We're going to go back to Kylos Gorge, actually. And we are going to put Elk in the party. And we're going to travel a little bit. So let's get out here. Elk has Bandit set on the A button. Bandit, if he hits an enemy, he will steal the skill. I believe the drop tables for stealing, they all have the same materials, but they have slightly different gathering rates compared to if you just kill the enemy. We hit this guy, and we get a Titanospine off of him. And these guys are much, much easier to kill than the Cerberus enemies, so let's just take him out real quick with Aisha shooting him, get some Titano bones off him as well, and I want to go to a specific spot in Kylos Gorge, so we're just going to dodge real quickly back and head this way. Heading out down here, we will have this enemy right in front of an entryway. Hit him with Bandit, get the Titanospine, have Adol kill him real quick, and get some Titanospines off of him. Now we can walk into here, come back out, And we've got another one right away. Let's just hit this guy a couple times, get the Titanospines, and finish him off. I'll definitely want to synthesize a better weapon for Elk so that he can deal more damage. As a matter of fact, I think I got a weak weapon on him. Yeah, I had the weapon on him to learn Bandit. I got Bandit up to level 5 specifically, because before level 5, it is extremely slow. Just to point out, the Chiradark, I got this from Seagram Village, so that's where you can buy your first weapon that has Bandit on it. I don't think it's the only one that has it, but it's the easiest one to get. But at level 5, Bandit becomes much faster. I don't think it has any other benefits for leveling it up past level 5. Maybe slightly more damage, but damage is not the reason you use that skill. Now, one last thing we want to check is how many soul stones do we have? 53! Okay, actually, let me just check our Titanospines. 30? I think that's exactly the amount I need to synthesize what I want to synthesize. So, let's head back to Iska Village, and we are going to synthesize a very, very good weapon. Heading in here, let's talk to Brandy Swanson. For all the weird names that the enemies have, the NPCs have surprisingly plain ones. Based on a guide I was reading, the NPCs originally did not have names in the Japanese version, they just had generic descriptors. But we want to synthesize Caliosarion. You have to use the Moondragon Stone, 50 Soul Stones, and 30 Titanospines. But the rewards for doing so are immense. Let's equip it, and let's go take this thing for a spin. So what we want to do is warp back to the Well of Souls midpoint. And remember those enemies that dropped the Soul Stone, but they were strike weak, so we needed Cruci to deal appreciable damage to them? Well, with Caliosarion, that is no more. Adol is now the Omega Beatstick. He is effective against everything with Caliosarion. From slash weak enemies to pierce weak enemies to strike weak enemies, everything will fall to him. And Caliosarion also has one of the highest strength values of any weapon in the game, so beyond that, he is just really, really strong. But, we've got quite a bit of grinding to do. We're gonna head back to Iska Village. And let's just go back to the workshop again to check out what we've got to synthesize, because we've got a veritable bevy of ultimate equipment to synthesize, and I'm going to synthesize all of it. So let's just take a look at what we got here. So, of course, we've got all of these weapons here. For Dogi, yes, it is Moonstones that he needs in substitution of Dragon Stones. We're going to need 50 Soul Stones for that. For Aisha, we're going to need 50 Soul Stones for hers, plus 50 Crystallized Twigs. Gonna need 50 Soul Stones, 50 Moonstones for Geis. And you know, so on and so forth. And we do want to synthesize all of these. There's a very specific reason why we want to take the effort to synthesize every single one of these. Additionally, we want to synthesize ultimate armor for everybody, so gotta synthesize 2 more Void Closes, 2 more Null Pains, 2 Seiya armors, gotta get all the materials for that. And on top of that, I want to synthesize an Energy Orb. The only thing I need for that at the moment is Blackstones. I think another item requires Iron Ore that I want to make. Let me see, is it the Xenoides? No. I feel like there's another one that requires it. Well, if it does, it'll come up. But yes, I want to get the materials for all of those. So I'm going to be doing that loop that I mentioned, warping to the midpoint, getting all the materials there, warping to the endpoint, getting all the materials there. Repeat that until I have everything I need. And I'll get a pretty sizable number of levels along the way as well. I do need to stop and get a lot of Titanospines also, since that is necessary for the Seiya armors. So yeah, I've got quite a bit of farming to do. I don't know if I'll have it done by Friday, so I can make another video then. But if I don't, then I can just simply make a bonus video. If I do have it done by then, well, next time's gonna be the final video. Yeah, that's it. We're at the end of East 7. We're gonna be fully prepared to take on the final bosses, and it is quite the gauntlet, so look forward to that. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, goodbye.